We should talk about Rafael Nadal because it was the official goodbye in Madrid to the Spanish crowd, and I thought he took a big step forward, considering where he had been the previous event, winning three matches, gets the win over Alex de Minaur, avenging that loss in Barcelona, which was terrific. Plays a three-set, 3-hour battle against Pedro Cachin, and his body holds up. These were all positive steps in the right direction for Rafa, and he has one more tournament in Rome before Roland Garros. It's like he's slowly building these blocks here to make one final run.
And can I just ask you here before we discuss his, on-court performance, but is there anything wrong with asking Rafa Nadal for a shirt or a towel or some memento after he beats you? I mean, my goodness, I can't believe there were some people on social media who were kind of bemoaning the fact that a professional tennis player would say that at the conclusion of a match. Are you kidding me? This is one of the all-time greatest players in the sport ever. And if you have an opportunity to do that, why wouldn't you take advantage? I mean, I think back to Wayne Gretzky's last season in the NHL, and guys were going up to him asking for sticks and things like that
Oh
afterwards.
yeah.
Does that mean that their competitive instinct was dulled or somehow not at 100% when they were playing, that their mind was elsewhere? I mean, look, any player's mind is going to be elsewhere when you play a player like that. Give me a break. So
Yeah.
I
Zero
think
zero
that
percent wrong.
was
Yeah.
right. And Rafa was obviously so obliging too. And what else would you expect from him?
Yeah, look, I would say maybe there's a little something wrong if Pedro Cachin loses this match 1-2 in 45 minutes and is saying, "Hey, can I have your shirt?" But he pushed him to a third set. They had a 3-hour battle. I think for me, he left everything on the court. And as you're going up for that handshake, there's a moment there where I think you're telling yourself, "I just played one of my idols in his final season in front of this incredible Spanish crowd. This is kind of the moment of a lifetime for me. And he made my dream come true. Let's get a souvenir. I see nothing wrong with that. I thought it was a beautiful tennis moment, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I gotta say, this is starting to hit me a little harder than I thought this farewell tour. Now that he was able to get a couple of rounds into the
Yeah.
tournament and just seeing the reaction of fans and whatnot. And oh man, it's gonna yeah, there are gonna be some tears, and I gotta be perfectly honest, before I got into the media, not that I wasn't a Nadal fan, but I wasn't like a super fan. But it's hitting me right now that this is it for him and that we are gonna have to say goodbye. And I don't know what the right way to leave the game is, whether it's like a Pete Sampras, you leave winning a major and just never come back, whether it's a Roger Federer who just realizes, hey, I can't do this anymore, and so I'm going to have to tap out, or whether it's Nadal who's trying to push and maybe have one last, incredible moment. But this of all of them is, I feel, going to be maybe the hardest to watch as he goes through these tournaments as a fan of the sport and someone who has a lot of respect for what this guy's accomplished and added to the overall fabric of tennis as well.
Yeah, it's going to be I think quite difficult seeing slowly these legends of the game slowly say goodbye. And if you haven't had a chance, I had a feature interview last week with Vasek Pospisil for the podcast, and I had to ask him, like, it must feel pretty surreal as a professional player playing your entire career through the big three era, and we're seeing it come to an end. And obviously we knew it had to happen at some point, but Roger, as we know, is gone. Rafa soon to go. Andy Murray soon to go, if we want to call it a big four, which we absolutely had for a stretch of time. And I mean, sounds like Novak will be the final one standing, and we don't know how long he's going to stick around. We really don't know. Obviously, he looked at the peak of his powers last season, and we'll see how he looks in Rome. But there's more tennis in Madrid to talk about on the women's side as well. And I
Yeah,
thought,
and just sorry, just before
yeah,
we
go
get into
ahead.
that with Rafa, I'm just like so many questions. Like, what's the rest of his year going to look like? Are we going to get to see him have another match?
Olympics?
A final match against Djokovic. I'd love to see them play one more time. Will he have a big run in a tournament? Does he have one big run left in him? Are we going to see him play the grass court swing, or because of the fact that he's gearing up for the Olympics, does he just stick with clay and not touch the grass? I mean, it'd be kind of nice to see him step back on the lawns of the All England Club, where he had
Yep.
so many fantastic, incredible runs there. I just have all these questions, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for him the rest of 2024.
I wonder if he plays Canada too. He's won it 5 times. It's the best hardcourt event. So if it would be incredible if he made the trip to Montreal, but we'll see.